Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to the Prem Bhakti Chandrika series. Today we are going to discuss text 60, and the theme of this verse is the cause of ultimate bliss. What causes the ultimate bliss? So the verse goes like this. युगल चरणे प्रीति परम आनंद तथी रति प्रेममय परबंधे कृष्ण नाम राधा नाम उपाय करो रस धाम चरणे पड़िया परानंदे. So the meaning is like this. Yugala Charani Priti. Yugala means Radha Krishna. So having affection to their lotus feet, Parama Ananda Tathi. It is the highest of all bliss. Rati Premamaya Parabandhe. And having attachment uh, to the compositions of Radha Krishna's pastimes by very exalted devotees, knowers of rasa, knowers of mellows, uh, and these compositions which are laden with love. So that is also the cause of bliss. So attachment to the lotus feet of Radha Krishna, attachment to their katha, and finally Krishna Nama, Radha Nama, Upay Karo Rasadham. And finally their names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the abode of all rasa, Charane Padiya Paranande. And Narottam Das Thakur is saying, I am just uh, falling at their feet with bliss. So let's try to understand in detail. Yugala Charane Priti Parama Ananda Tathi. So the cause of ultimate bliss is to dedicate oneself to the lotus feet of Radha Krishna. This is the cause of ultimate bliss. So first of all, Ananda or bliss is the experience that every living entity is looking for and searching for, life after life. But where is this happiness? What is this happiness? What is that real happiness? So our Shrutis very mercifully have told us that Sa Esha Anandasya Mimamsa Bhavati, that Krishna Bhakti or Krishna's lotus feet is the abode or the final destination or the final solution of all happiness. Why? Yato vacho nivartanta aprapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidvan na vibheti kutashana. By knowing the happiness of Brahman, that means happiness of Krishna, one becomes completely freed from all fears, and this happiness is beyond any limit, and this happiness is beyond any words or expression of mind, but it's the experiential happiness. It has to be experienced with the pure senses. So another Shruti statement is Kohi evanyad kapranyad yadeva akasha anando nasyad. This means that if Krishna were not full of complete bliss, then no living entity would ever desire to continue living. We are desiring to continue living because we still have the hope, unconscious hope, or semi-conscious, subconscious hope that we will attain Krishna. Someday we are looking for Krishna, we will attain Krishna, we are hoping for that happiness, which is not different from Krishna. So therefore, even within our conditioned consciousness, with our conditioned desires and our uh, unnatural existence also, we still want to continue because of in the back of this whole infrastructure is the reality, which is Krishna, which is the highest of bliss. So why am I not experiencing this happiness? Because Anandadhi eva khalu imani bhutani jayante. It is mentioned that from that Ananda, from that Krishna only, all these living entities and all the entire universe is coming from this Ananda. So having the root or source in Ananda, it's only logical that we are supposed to be full of bliss also. and this world is supposed to be full of bliss, but why is it not? Why is the experience very contrary? uh, because we are not finding Krishna, we are not being connected with Krishna. Sarvesham bhutanam madhu, the sweetness that all of us are looking for is Krishna. This is how it is. Krishna is described in the scriptures. uh, Raso vai saha rasamevayam labdva anandi bhavati. So, having conviction that this material world cannot make me happy, only Krishna can make me happy, is the beginning of spiritual life. And why am I suffering if my nature is to be blissful always? I'm suffering because of three reasons. First, that I have been, my mind is impure, my consciousness has become impure in touch of three modes, therefore I am suffering. Secondly, because of lack of absolute knowledge, lack of knowledge of the truth of what this world is, who God is, who am I really. So lack of knowledge is making me unhappy. The impure heart is making me unhappy. Impure heart means impure desires, impure aspirations. And the deha adhyas, that means obsession with the body is, or obsession with the external is making me unhappy. So when this outward moving consciousness is turned inward toward Krishna's service, Bhagavad Seva, God's service, obedience to God, servitude to God, then I can actually experience my nature of uh, being blissful in service to Krishna, in service to Bhagavan. And the highest and most original form of Godhead is Krishna. And the highest form of Krishna is when Krishna is with Radharani. And therefore, Yugala Charana Preeti Paramananda Tati. So, because we are talking about most original form of Godhead, we are talking about the highest kind of bliss. Rati Premamaya Parabandhe, that means one should be very attached to the literature composed by um, great acharyas about Radha Krishna's pastimes and their praises, Stavavali, Stavamala, Prem Bhakti Chandrika, all these literature, Prem Samput, all these literatures are composed by our acharyas, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Brihad Bhagavatamrit. They are giving us glimpse of Radha Krishna's pastimes in the spiritual world, and they're full of love of these acharyas in their own swarup of being made a servant of Radharani, and they have the highest access of Radha Krishna's leelas, and having love for having attachment for this love-laden literature is the way to go and advance and develop our relationship with Krishna in a particular mood. And finally, it is mentioned Krishna Nama Radha Nama Upay Karo Rasadhama Charane Padiya Paranande. So falling at the feet of Radha Krishna and with the solution that Krishna Nama Radha Nam Upay Karo Rasadham. The abode of happiness is the names of Radharani and Krishna. Currently, I'm not able to taste it because of my tongue is affected by offenses, and the uh, offense affected tongue cannot taste Krishna's holy names, and therefore, by consciously avoiding offenses and by trying and practicing chanting of Hare Krishna, insisting upon our affection towards Radha Krishna, insisting upon concentrating on the meaning of Radha of the Mahamantra, one can slowly get rid of the offenses, and then the holy name becomes slowly tasteful on the tongue of a devotee, tongue of the practitioner, and that is the ultimate bliss, Parananda, that Srila Narottam Das Thakur is talking about. Um, it is mentioned by Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Radheti Rama Navasundara Sidhu Mugdham Krishneti Nama Madhuradbhuta Gadha Dugdham Sarvakshanam Surabhiraga Himena Ramyam Krutva tadeva pibame rasane kshudharte. Our tongue has become very dry and it requires the rasa. What is that rasa? Radheti nama navasundara siddha mukdam. The nectar of Radharani's name, mix it with Krishneti nama madhuradbhuta gada dugdam. The condensed milk of Krishna's name. And then Sarvakshanam Surabhiraga Himena Ramyam. And our own affection for Radha Krishna is like the icing, the ice particle, or a fragrant ice that is mixed in it. And Krutva Tadeva Pibame Rasane Kshudharte, always Sarvakshanam, always drink this nectar. This is the appeal of Raghunath Das Goswami. Even Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur writes, Radha Namaiva Karyam Yanudinaminitam Sadhanadhisha Kotis Tyakta Nirajya Radha Padakamala Sudham Satkumarthagri Koti Radha Padabjalila Jayati Sada Radha Padabjalila Bhuvi Jayati Sada Manda Mandar Koti Shri Radha Kinkarena Luthati Charanayo Radbhuta Siddhi Koti. So this mentions that Radha Namaiva Karya. One should chant Radharani's name. Hi Anudina Militam. Every day one should chant Sadhanadhisha Koti Styaktva. Giving up all other processes because holy name Harer Nama Harer Nama Harer Nama Kevalam. Tyaktva Niraja Radha Padakamala Sudham. And one should Satkumar Thagra Koti. All the other perfections one should show Niranjan to Radharani's lotus feet nectar and then keep it aside. And then Radha Padab Jalila Bhuvi Jayati Sada Manda Mandar Koti. Many Kalpa desire trees. The real desire trees are present or are decorating the pastime ground of Radharani's lotus feet. And finally, Shri Radha Kinkarina Luthati Charanayor Adbhuta Siddhi Koti. And millions of siddhis are rolling at the dust at the feet of maid servant of Radharani. So the Charane Padiya Paranande. So at their feet, we should also roll with great happiness. And that is the sum and substance of today's verse. Krishna willing, we will meet again. Hare Krishna. Have a very nice Krishna conscious day.